Well, looking ahead and happening today, new COVID-19 rules go into effect across IPS schools. The reason, an increase in COVID-19 cases. Julia Brooks is in studio this morning with a breakdown of those numbers. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning, Julia. Right now, hundreds of students are in quarantine. Others have been for just over the past few weeks. We know that some K-8 students will now be eating lunch in classrooms, gyms, or outdoors, weather permitting, to try and limit crowds in the cafeteria. High school lunch periods will have mandatory assigned seating, and IPS will accept either PCR or rapid testing for students with or without symptoms. Plus, in-person field trips are now canceled through October 8th. This comes, of course, as the Delta variant spreads, fueling that summer surge that we've seen across the country and right here in Indiana. Yesterday, the state reported several thousand new COVID cases. They also updated the number of cases in schools. And the last week, we've learned that schools reported another 6,300 students testing positive for COVID. So coming up on this graph here, you can see that here in the orange, that is the last 2 weeks where schools have reported more student cases than any 2-week period since the last school year there. And we also have to point out, though, Julia, that teachers and staff, the case numbers are up for them as well.
Julia, thank you. And a lot of schools across the country have put mask mandates back into place for students and staff, regardless of vaccination status. Dr. Anthony Fauci says that's the right move. He hopes more schools will go back to requiring masks.
Government leaders locally who are trying to push back on that, we've got to get the school system masked, in addition to surrounding the children with vaccinated people. That's the solution. We don't need to see a big uptick at all in cases if we do it right.
And changes don't stop in our schools. The Indianapolis Repertory Theater will require all guests over the age of 12 now show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test. The new requirement begins October 6th for all public performances. The theater already requires everyone wear masks regardless of vaccination status. The city of Beech Grove plans to reward city workers who get the COVID shot. Beech Grove's mayor says every worker who gets vaccinated, whether full or part-time, will get a $50 stipend. The city will also offer free flu shots, and Beech Grove city workers will also have the opportunity to earn gift cards to local businesses for participating in these health and wellness initiatives.